Hey, what up? It's Pika out here in Singapore, and this is the latest drop from Phoenix. It's called Light Years, and it's available on YouTube at the moment. So if you're interested, go check out. It's called Light Years, like I said, and if you look up Phoenix Nick's music, I'll leave the link in my comments again. Check it out and let me know what you think. It's I'm proud to say he's one of the artists, producers actually, from Unknown Music Asia, so hopefully we see more from him in the future. Alright, so it is Tuesday night, and for those of you who joined me on my live on Instagram earlier today, it was just real quick. I do it every day, just a little bit, like a snippet of the day, how I'm feeling, and then what I'm grateful for, mostly because I want to get in the habit of making sure that I'm grateful at all times. It's easy to complain about stuff. It's easy to, bitch and moan about what's not going your way. It's easy to obsess about the things that you're worried about, who's upsetting you, why you didn't get this, who messed up and didn't complete whatever assignment. It could be anything, but it's easy to just dwell on those things and forget that there's so many things to be grateful for in life. So I do this on Instagram whenever the mood strikes, whenever I have a spare bit of time to really sit and contemplate and then let you know what I'm grateful for. Let's see. I had a growth tribe meeting this today, and it was a half day for me, so I was actually kind of excited about that because it means that once I stop and go pick up baby girl, I actually got to stay home the rest of the day. Worked out really well, actually, because I had to do her hair tonight, so it took us about 4.5, 5 hours to get her hair done, but luckily, with her being out of school by 2 o'clock, we had plenty of time to get all that done, and she went to sleep at a decent hour as well. So she's getting really good at waking up in the morning. I mean, it's still kind of difficult to get out of bed. Once she's out of bed and actually is washed up and everything, she's back to her usual happy self. So very grateful for that. It's working out very well for us so far. But then also by the weekend, she's just exhausted. So just adjustments here and there, and I think we'll be able to manage those changes as well. Had a tough conversation at work today, basically about the fact that she comes back to work with me after school, and the reason I chose to do that is because if you think about it, she wakes up before 7, she's out the door and at school by 7:15, and then she comes back from school by 1:45, and if I were to leave her in a daycare facility kind of thing, like a student care at school, chances are I wouldn't see her until about 7 o'clock, because, let's think about this. I go to work at 10, I don't finish until 6. It takes time for me to commute from work to home, and that's about half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on, if the bus is running on time or whatever, which means I don't get back until close to 7, at which point I have time, an hour and a half maybe, to make sure she gets home, takes a shower, eats dinner, and goes straight to bed. What kind of life is that? I don't want that for her. So I'm adamant. I'm going to try and make this work somehow, some kind of way, because I don't feel like a parent if I stick her in classes in, student care and have her away from me for the majority of her life. Let's think about this. She's in primary 1, and for the next, I don't know, 12 years minimum, she's going to be in school, y'all. And eventually, yes, she'll actually need tuition, possibly, unless I could find a way to teach her everything she needs to know. But at that point, how much time would I have actually spent with her? I work weekends, y'all. When she's off, I'm not. When I'm off, she's not. And I think this is the best way I know how to make sure that I'm around for her. Now, obviously, once my business takes off, I won't need to worry about what my 9 to 5 says. But in the meantime, yeah, that's my steady paycheck. That's where I need to make sure that I please them so that I can have what I want and they have what they want as well. So that is the dilemma at the moment. But you know me, I'm gonna hustle my ass off and see if I can't get this done anyway. So it basically means that when she does get to work with me, I will have activities or worksheets or something planned, so it will, have her occupied enough for me to concentrate and get my work done as well. And, win-win. I believe in win-wins. This is, Kobayashi Maru moment, for real. Well, outside of that, I wanted to talk to you about choices. I mean, I feel like my choice to parent more than, just pay for whatever she needs is a little more important. So that's a choice that I want to stick by. I want to make sure that I really give her that sense of, hey, I'm around, I'm always around. Because honestly, she's lost a lot of people in her life, and I don't want to be one of those parents that becomes workaholic because my boss tells me to be, and then, I kind of just miss her. There are so many little milestones. I mean, it's not just about her losing teeth or beginning to walk or her first words or any of those things. It's like the way she interprets the world around her reminds me of how much fun it is to be a child, how wonderful the world is when you are childlike. Like I miss those ideas basically. I miss that viewpoint. And to be around her as she experiences the world helps me to reconnect with my own like inner child or whatever, if you'd like to put it that way. I hope that makes sense. I remember, I think I read this thing today. There was a story or something where this little boy is very excited because mom and dad brought home, baby girl, whatever, and he was adamant, look, I want to spend some time with baby girl. I want to be with her. I want to talk to her for a little bit. Do you mind if I talk to her, but I want to talk to her privately? And the parents like, oh no, she's too small, and they were flipping out, and he put his foot down. Look, I just want to talk to her. And they were like, okay, fine. So obviously they saw that they weren't going to get around what he wanted, so they let him have what he wanted, but they kind of stood within earshot just to make sure everything was fine. So the baby was apparently in a crib, and he went over to the crib, and he said, tell me what God is like. I'm starting to forget. And it was at that point where the parents were like, oh my gosh, like, wow. We go through life, from the beginning we are like unlimited, we are infinite, we are capable of so many things. It's like the path lays sprawled open in front of us, and it's like you can choose any which way you want to go, and then there would still be infinitely more choices after that. But as we get older, as we learn from our parents, as we learn from the people around us, we start to limit ourselves based on what is acceptable in the world around us, what is acceptable in the culture, what is acceptable in the country, the laws, the social norms, the accepted behaviors, all of that stuff. We start to limit the way we think. And I feel like those choices sometimes are unconscious. But to be around children, to watch how they are, to see how they love, they are such magnets for just this tremendous love. The way they run into your arms, the way they look at you, like to make sure you're watching them when they're experiencing something for the first time. The way when they stop mid-sentence because they notice something and they want to show you. We were walking home from school today, and baby girl was like, wow, what is that growing on that tree? And we both stopped and we looked and we took pictures, and it was just, I don't even know if there's a word for it. It was so innocent, and it was so beautiful, and I want more of those moments. I mean, time keeps marching on, you guys. It's not going to stop for none of us. So you might as well do what you can in the moments that you have. And like I said, yes, I'm going to fight tooth and nail for what I believe is the best way for me to parent. Yes, I'm probably overcompensating because I'm a single parent. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my decisions. I don't need you to like my decisions. I don't need you to approve of my decisions. If you want to back me up, great. I'm grateful for that. If you don't, step aside, because I have things to do. I have this gorgeous little person who I think thinks the world of me and wants to spend time with me. And I mean, who knows how long that'll last, right? Because before you know it, they'll be teenagers and they have their own ideas about what to do and how to do it, and they'll be pretty certain at some point that you're trying to ruin their life. So before all that happens, I'd like to fill my life with experiences with her. And that comes down to the choices that I make, honestly. Right now, Yes, I need a 9 to 5. But as I make more and more choices as far as how I spend my off time, what I do when I'm not sleeping, that all is towards a bigger plan. There is, a master plan. I have an idea. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it's going to come to be, but I have a master plan. I know what I want for this child of mine. I know how I want to guide her. Because honestly, I do believe that I've borrowed her from the universe. I get to have her for a little bit of time. And in that time, I get to show her how I experience life, what I think is important, how to manage the many things that will come her way, people judging her, people trying to make her conform to a certain way of thinking or a certain way of being, the differences between races, the the ugliness of racism. I know everybody's talking about this, this t-shirt or a sweatshirt that came out or whatever, talking about, the cutest monkey. And I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't condone racism by any means. I try to stand up for, all races as much as possible. But even I am caught between a rock and a hard place sometimes, because I work for people who know there is racism and will play into it because they want to make money. I want to make a difference. If I make money making a difference, great, but I want to make a difference. I don't want to condone that behavior. I don't want to stay silent when there's so much to be said. Like, if I don't stand up for this, what else will I not stand up for? You know what I mean? I think there was a quote I read the other day, something about, it's not the opinions of those judging you that matter. Actually, it's the silence of the people you thought had your back that matter the most. When they need to stand up and have your back or fight for something, rather than just go along with the way things are because they're the way things are. I in my very core, I really feel like having a nanny makes us all lazy. Having a nanny or a maid or a housework or whatever you want to call it, I feel like it makes us all lazy because we forget. We essentially forget the power of broke. We forget what it means to work all day, come home, cook, clean up the house, make sure, your children are fed and clothed, make sure that they've taken a shower for the night, that make sure that they're, they're fed properly, that they've done their homework, that they go to bed at a decent hour, and then you get to relax. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people understand that concept anymore. And I was told that, this is the norm in Singapore. Okay, great. And they were very clear to point out that, this isn't the States. Well, okay, it's not the States. I don't know how many countries have workers in the house with them. But for the most part, as far as I know, in the West, everyone does all of that work by themselves. Sometimes they have, parents or something in the house with them, so they share the work a little bit, and it helps the elderly feel useful, and it helps the young ones learn, from the wisdom of the elderly. I mean, it's the way things have been for a very long time, and it seemed to work for so long, but I don't know why suddenly we feel the need to stick our parents in homes and, hire help and all of these things. Like, I like my choices. There are some choices I wish I could undo, obviously, but for the most part, I've come to grips with the things I've decided to do on my own. They were my choices. I own them. Any other step along the way, I'd be someone else, but I feel like if I own a house, I should be able to fix most of the things generally in the house. Otherwise, I can't really call myself a homeowner. If I'm going to be a mom, I need to be able to cook, I need to be able to clean, I need to be able to iron and wash and manage time to such a degree that my child can watch me and know what to do when she grows up. I don't ever want anyone to be able to say that, they gave me something. No, I earned all of that shit. I worked hard, I sacrificed, I made sure whatever it is that I needed, I got for myself. I didn't take any handouts, I didn't beg for help. And even if I did ask for help, I made sure I paid everything back. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is my chance to prove that yes, I am worthy to myself, not to anyone in particular, to myself, that I still represent the things that I feel are important as far as being a woman, as far as being a mother, as far as being a parent. Because I know I've told you this before, my only aspiration as a kid, what I wanted to be when I grew up, was a mom. Why? Because I get to do it all as a mom. I can sew, I can cook, I can teach, I'm a medic, I am, role model, counselor, guardian, like all of those. I get to do it all, you guys. Do you understand that? As a parent, you get to do it all. All. You are the first hero. You are the first line of defense. You are the first person they come to when they're upset. Do you have any idea what that feels like? Yes, it is a tremendous responsibility. But along with that responsibility, if you manage it right, you get these incredible little moments here and there sprinkled out throughout your day where you really connect with this little person and they really share their world with you, and you build on that trust that you have with each other. And there's nothing greater than that. So I will defend my choices till the day I die. And maybe along the way, if I find a better way, I will adjust my choices. But that girl will always come first. And I don't think there's anything that I could possibly regret with regard to that. She is amazing. She has changed my entire life. And without her, I don't think there'd be a Night Owl podcast. I don't think there'd be a Rasati company. I don't think, I would have pushed to be what I am right now. I'm continuing to fight to make sure that, I get as much as I can done. I could be a little more organized, obviously, but all of that will come with time. I really do feel that. I really do believe that. Well, it's getting late, y'all. It's 11:11. God bless you all. It's a very auspicious time, and the angels are around us as always. I hope you will check out the link in the comments for Phoenix's Light Year track, and it's featuring 6091, another artist as well. And I hope by listening you feel empowered to do whatever it is you feel you need to do, without fear of judgment, without having to defend your choices as much. Just choose something. You can always readjust later. You can always reset, refocus, realign your goals, but choose. Inaction is also a choice. All right? So I will catch you again tomorrow. And in the meantime, I know you got this. All right? Y'all take care. Bye.